Hi everyone, so this review is for Forbidden by Sato. If you want to check out my review, I have just posted that. So if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description below. And if you're on my blog, then the details are in the post. And this is the video review. So Forbidden by Sato. This was a pretty intense thriller. Agent Jara Quinn finds that she's got her first case back on the job. And it's one that they thought was closed, but there's these new victims and they've got the circumstances of these are just too familiar sort of circumstances to her and her partner Travis. So they end up joining with these detectives from two different states where these murders have happened. Now it's sort of like crossed across and gone all over the place. And then upon discovering the evidence leads them to believe this killer has, been doing this a lot longer than they thought. And so they are drawn further into this game the killer seems to be playing with them. And it just becomes a race against time to stop them, really. And like with all sort of like thrillers and mysteries and crime novels, it's really difficult to say too much about them before you're just giving away too many spoilers. So this had a very clever sort of theme threaded throughout the story that was the forefront of Jara investigating, and that's why she was going, getting so close to this case and really going through it with a fine-tooth comb. She was, the clues that were there were just they were too I can't think of the right word for this. That's not good. But they were just too close for comfort. Do you know what I mean? They were just too similar, and they were too. It was coincidence. It was just too much to be a coincidence. And she was determined to work out how this very significant clue fitted with all the other pieces that she was discovering, because it had to be that key. And so I loved joining her on this one, as it kind of showed another side to how she works and just how far she'll go to uncover the truth. Like, she was really pushing herself this time. And so this story is part of a series, and you would definitely benefit from reading the first part so that you get to know Agent Quinn a bit better. But it also works great as a story on its own. Like, Lee gives you enough detail to understand who Jara is and how she's connected to everybody else around her, and keep it, but not detracting too much from keeping the focus on like this really thrilling case that they're trying to solve. So it was, I say, it's always really difficult to share too much because you end up giving away like far too much of the plot. But things ended up getting quite personal really in the end for Jara, and that led to her taking more risks than I was kind of used to her taking in the first book. And she didn't lose her focus at any point. She was, even when she was kind of advised to, she was kind of advised to take steps back and everything, she still kept that focus on everything. And it was never for too long. Like, she was like, okay, fine, I'll go home. And she was back seconds later. She just couldn't focus until she'd figured all this out. So she really ended up right at the heart of this case and trying to crack it. And it got very close to being dangerous, and I had every faith in her doing so and cracking it, but I just wondered like how far she was going to get pushed before she maybe didn't. But it was a great read. It was really exciting. I'm now excited for what awaits Jara in the future, because like all agents, I bet she's not going to have a quiet life. She's too dedicated and she's too determined. So yeah, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed getting to know Jara better as well as a character and more about her personal life. But yeah, really great crime thriller, really interesting and unique storyline. So I hope you'll enjoy it. I'll pop a link in the description so you can grab a copy of Forbidden by Sato, which I hope you will. If you've read Forbidden, would love to know what you thought of it. So please do share and let us know. And if you haven't read it yet, but you're planning to read it, it's on your to be read list, or you're now super intrigued and thinking, yeah, I really want to read that, then again, please do let us know, because it's always great to find out what you are interested in reading. And if you do read it, I hope you enjoy it and I hope you can work it out. Yeah, I hope you have a great time reading it. Bye.